Hi, welcome to your channel. Today is the second day of the second chapter, that is how your mind works. Let's start. How he lost his arm. For many years, I gave a regular series of lectures at the London Truth Forum in Kingston Hall, which I founded a number of years ago. Dr. Evelyn Fleet, the director, told me about a man whose young daughter suffered from both crippling rheumatoid arthritis and the disfiguring and painful skin condition called psoriasis. They tried many treatments, but nothing the doctors did seemed to help. The man was near despair. Over and over he said to himself and to his friends, I would give my right arm to see my daughter cured. According to Dr. Fleet, one day the family was out for a drive. Their car was involved in a head on collision. The father's right arm was torn off at the shoulder. When he came home from the hospital, he discovered that his daughter's arthritis and skin condition had vanished. You must be very careful to give your subconscious only those suggestions that heal, place, elevate, and inspire you in all your ways. Remember, your subconscious mind doesn't understand a joke, it takes you at your world. How autosuggestion banishes fear. The term suggestion means suggesting something definite and specific to oneself. Like any tool, wrongly used, it can cause harm, but used properly, it can be extremely helpful. Janet Orr was a talented young singer. She was invited to try out for an important role in an opera production. She desperately wanted to audition, but she was also terribly apprehensive. Three times before, when she had sung for directors, she had failed miserably. The reason was fear of failure. She had a wonderful voice, but she had been saying to herself, when the time comes for me to sing, I will sound awful. I will never get the role. They won't like me. They will wonder how I have the nerve even to try out. I will go, but I know it will be a failure. Her subconscious mind accepted these negative autosuggestions as a request. It proceeded to manifest them and bring them into her experience. The cause was an involuntary autosuggestion. Her fears had become emotionalized and subjectified thoughts that in turn became her reality. This young singer was able to overcome the force of her negative autosuggestion. She accomplished this by countering them with positive autosuggestion. What she did was this: three times a day, she went alone into a quiet room. She sat down comfortably in an armchair, relaxed her body, and closed her eyes. She stilled her mind and body as best she could. Physical inertia favors mental passivity and renders the mind more receptive to suggestion. To counteract the fear suggestion, she repeated to herself, I sing beautifully. I am poised, serene, confident, and calm. At each sitting, she repeated this statement slowly, quietly, and with feeling from 5 to 10 times. She had three such sittings during the day and one immediately before going to sleep. After 1 week, she was completely poised and confident. When the fateful day came, she gave a wonderful audition and was cast in the part. How she restored her memory. A woman of 75 had always been proud of her ability to remember. Like everyone, she forgot things now and then, but she paid no attention. However, as she got older, she began to notice these occasions and worry about them. Each time she forgot something, she said to herself, I must be losing my memory because of my age. As a result of these negative autosuggestions, more and more names and events slipped her mind. She was close to despair. Then, fortunately, she realized how she was damaging herself. She resolved to reverse the process. Every time she felt the temptation to think, I am losing my memory, she stopped herself. More than that, she deliberately reversed the procedure. Several times a day, she practiced induced positive autosuggestion. She said to herself, from today onward, my memory is improving in every way. I will always remember whatever I need to know at every moment of time and point of space. The impressions I receive will be clear and definite. I will retain them automatically and easily. Whatever I want to recall will immediately present itself in the correct form in my mind. I am improving rapidly every day. Very soon, my memory will be better than it has ever been before. At the end of 3 weeks, her memory was back to normal. How he overcame a nasty temper. I was consulted by a man whose marriage and career was both in serious trouble. His problem was his constant irritability and bad temper. He was concerned about this himself, but if anyone tried to discuss it with him, he exploded. He exploded in anger. He constantly told himself that everyone was picking on him and that he had to defend himself against them. To counter this negative autosuggestion, I advised him to use positive autosuggestion several times a day, morning, noon, and at night prior to sleep. He was to repeat to himself, from now on, I shall grow more good humored. Joy, happiness, and cheerfulness are now becoming my normal states of mind. Every day, I am becoming more and more lovable and understanding. I will be a center of cheer and goodwill to all those around me, infecting them with my good spirits. This happy, joyous, and cheerful mood is now becoming my normal, natural state of mind. I am grateful. After a month, his wife and his co workers remarked on how much easier he was to get along with. Some comments on heterosuggestions. The term heterosuggestion means suggestions from another person in all ages and in every part of the world. The power of suggestion has played a dominant part in the life and thought of humankind. Political creeds, religious beliefs, and cultural customs all flourish and perpetuate themselves, perpetuate, perpetuate themselves through the power of heterosuggestion. Suggestion can be used as a tool to discipline and control ourselves. However, it can also be used to take control and command over others who have not been taught to understand the laws of mind. In its constructive form, it is wonderful and magnificent. In its negative aspects, it is one of the most destructive of all the response patterns of the mind. Its results can be enduring patterns of misery, failure, suffering, sickness, and disaster. Have you accepted any of these? From the day we are born, we are bombarded with negative suggestion. Not knowing how to counter them, we consciously accept them and bring them into being as our experience. Here are some examples of negative suggestion. You can't. You will never amount to anything. You must not. You will fail. You haven't got a chance. You are all wrong. It's no use. It's not what you know, but who you know. What's the use? Nobody cares. There's no point in trying so hard. You are too old now. Things are getting worse and worse. Life is an endless grind. You just can't win. Watch out. You will catch a terrible disease. By accepting hetero suggestions of this kind, you collaborate in bringing them to pass. As a child, you were helpless when faced with the suggestions of others who were important to you. You did not know any better. The mind, both conscious and subconscious, was a mystery you did not even wonder about. As a result, however, you are able to make choices. You can use constructive suggestion, which is a reconditioning therapy, to change the impressions made on you in the past. The first step is to make yourself aware of the heterosuggestions that are operating on you. Unexamined, they can create behavior patterns that cause failure in your personal and social life. Constructive autosuggestion can release you from the mass of negative verbal conditioning that might otherwise distort your life pattern, making the development of good habits difficult and or even impossible. You can counteract negative suggestion. Pick up the paper or turn on the television news. Every day you hear dozens of stories that could sow the seeds of futility, fear, worry, anxiety, and impending doom. If you accept them and take them in, these thoughts of fear can cause you to lose the will for life. However, once you understand that you do not have to accept them, choices open up for you. You have within you the power to counteract all these destructive idea by giving your subconscious mind constructive auto suggestions. Check regularly on the negative suggestions that people make to you. You do not have to be at the mercy of destructive heterosuggestion. All of us have suffered from it in our childhood. in our teens and in adulthood. If you look back, you can easily recall how parents, friends, relatives, teachers, and associates contributed in a campaign of negative suggestions. Study the things said to you, closely examine their underlying meaning, and you will discover that many of them were nothing more than a form of propaganda. Its concealed purpose was and is to control you by installing fear in you. This heterosuggestion process goes on in every home, office, factory, and club. You will find that many of the suggestions people make, whether they know it or not, are aimed at making you think, feel, and act as they want you to in ways that are to their advantage, even if they are destructive to you. Okay, in the next session we will start how suggestion killed a man. If you are new on the channel, subscribe the channel and press bell icon so that you will get notification about new video upload. Don't forget to like and share. Thank you so much.